I'm Donna Fields, and welcome to CLIL Scaffolding 2. It's a series of webinars designed to give you quick, easy, and adaptable scaffolding techniques. Scaffolding is simply helping students transition into new material more easily, and today we're going to do How to Scaffold Technique number 5 from my book, 101 Scaffolding Techniques for Language, Teaching, and Learning, that's also been translated into Spanish, and you can get either of them at amazon.es and amazon.com. The objective for this session, and we know it's always important to share our objectives with our students and co-create them whenever we can, it helps them feel more involved in their own learning. And today it's to show how easy it is to adapt scaffolding technique number 5 to a primary and a secondary lesson. Are we ready? Scaffolding technique number 5 is called All the King's Horses and All the King's Men. It simply refers to the poem about Humpty Dumpty, who fell off a wall and had to be put back together again. So this technique is about puzzles. I'm going to show you 2 easy ways to use puzzles in a secondary classroom. The first one is, for instance, if you have to teach a formal letter, the format, it's kind of boring and difficult to engage our students. So here's what we do. We print out the letter, an example of a formal letter. We also print out a puzzle template, and then you put the template over the formal letter. You can put 6 colors at the same time behind this puzzle template, and you cut them all out. Once you cut them out, since they're different colors, it's easy to separate the pieces, and then you put them into a CD cover. The CD cover simply makes it easier to handle the puzzle pieces, and you give one CD cover to each pair of students, or each group. In pairs or groups, the students put the puzzle pieces together. Since we've chosen a template that has puzzle pieces that are mostly the same shape, they have to actually read the letter to put the puzzle back together. They're not relying on the shape. Once the puzzle pieces are back together, then you can have them work together, verbalizing things. So for any exam, they're going to have to use the phrases upper left, upper right, lower right, or center, and they use these phrases to talk about the questions that you'll also give them. Where is the sender's address? Where is the signature line? How many spaces are between paragraphs? Now the alternative is to actually write type sentences on different pieces of the puzzle, and so these are continuous sentences that define some terms on the left-hand side. But it's the same process. You print it out, cut them up, and the students put them back together again. So that was for secondary. Now let's look at primary. It's the same process. We're going to take a puzzle. In this case, we're going to use a puzzle about mathematics. Now, instead of writing it with numbers, the numbers they're probably going to use in their own language. What we want them to do is use the language of the classroom. So we've written it out in words. 4 multiplied by 5 equals 20. And what you're doing is you're helping the students learn the vocabulary to verbalize mathematical equations. What you're also doing here is showing how mathematics is reciprocal, because the next line is 20 divided by 4 equals 5. A lot of times if we don't show them the reciprocity of mathematical equations, they don't really get it. So we're doing them a lot of favors here. And then just as before, we cut out the pieces, the students work in pairs or groups, and put them together verbally and physically. If you really like your puzzle pieces a lot, you can always laminate them, and you can always put these in centers if you use centers in your classroom. So that was our scaffolding technique for today. All you super teachers out there, thank you so much for joining, and I look forward to seeing you at our next webinar. In the meantime, please leave me some comments at my LinkedIn page or Facebook page, and I'll hope to see you soon. Bye!